So one thing about yoga is a lot of people, when they hear that you do yoga, they think, well, I'm not that flexible. You have to wrap yourself up into pretzel positions to do yoga, and that is absolutely not true. Everyone can do yoga. Yoga is for everybody. You just need to start where you are. You might gain tons of flexibility. There might be other things that you are never able to do. I'll never be able to do a split. My hips are not built that way. Somebody else who might never have done yoga before might be able to get right into a split. Doesn't matter. You need to think about starting where you are, honoring the flexibility that you have, and working that edge. When you're going into a pose, work that edge, see where you can get to, see where you feel comfortable, play around with how far you go into and out of that edge, all right? So we will work with some flexibility today. Let's go ahead, start mountain pose, close your eyes, and just breathe. Slow your breath. Center yourself. Feel your feet rooting down into the ground. And open your eyes. We'll warm up with an inhale up, an exhale diving over chest first. Bend your knees and roll back up. So it's inhale up, exhale over. Inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, roll back up. Couple more times. The last one. Separate your feet to just under your hips, and we'll brace yourself on those knees. Nice big chest circles. You can let those hips move with you. Oiling up that back, your spine, and take it the opposite direction. Let those shoulders get into it. And then we'll roll back up and we'll separate the feet even further. So let's take the feet straight, facing straight forward. We'll take our arms up, hands together. We're going to make nice big circles. Take those hands around as far as you can. Keep the knees pretty straight if you can, but really working into those hips, letting them turn so that you can get that reach as far as you can go. One more. Good. We'll open it up. Turn the feet to the left. We'll bend that left knee. Good. Let's take that arm right down onto the leg. Take that arm up and over. We want a nice long line from the back heel right up through your body, through those fingertips. See if you can turn and look right up at the sky underneath that arm. And then let's draw some circles with that arm. Working that shoulder. again, holding that diagonal. If you're ready to go further, you can put that hand right down on the floor. Inhaling up. Let's take your hands right into your chest, and we'll start to turn to the side. We're facing that knee. Adjust that back foot. Take that heel right up off the floor. Back knee is straight. Shifting our hips or rotating our hips slightly back to feel that stretch in the front of that right hip. Good. Let's twist it even further. Try looking behind you. Feel that stretch again, even further through that hip. And turn again, facing down over that knee. We're going to take our hands to our thigh, drop that back knee to the floor. You can turn that foot so the top of the foot is on the floor, shifting the hips forward. Try and make sure that that knee does not go past the foot. Really opening up this hip here. Opening up your chest. Reaching your chin up. And chin can come back down. Shift your hips back. Turn your toes under. You can press against that leg to bring yourself back up. Again, you can have your choice here. You can, again, heel comes off. You can turn and face the back again. Or you can take that right elbow down to the outside of that left knee. And palms again together. Back leg is long. You're turning and looking behind you. See if you can turn your head, look up toward the sky. Good. Return to center. Toes facing forward. Let's take it over, flat back. So we're rotating the pelvis forward to get the length down the back of the hamstrings. Flattening the back by pressing your chest down toward the floor. Imagine you've got a grapefruit under your chin. So there's not a lot of space there. You're not squishing your grapefruit and looking down between your legs. You're not letting your grapefruit fall by looking forward, keeping your ears in line with the shoulders and hips. Good. Take it all the way over. You can bring your hands down to the floor if they'll reach. If they don't, that's fine. You can keep your hands up or on your legs. Try rotating the pelvis a little bit further. Maximizing the length down the back of those hamstrings. Good. Bend and straighten the knees a few times. Bend and roll on up. Good. Inhale those arms up. Again, hands come together. This time we'll take that circle in the opposite direction. So nice big swivel of those hips as you keep reaching out as far as you can for the maximum size of these circles. And again, we'll open up, turn the feet to the right, lunging into that right knee. Make sure it's placed right about over your heel. And resting above the knee, reaching up and over, extended angle. So that back heel is pressed out. Nice long line. See if you can turn your head and look right up under that arm. Let's take that circle with the shoulder. One last one, and again we'll hold. Good, we'll inhale it up. Keep low into those legs, hands come in. Let's turn back heel, comes right up off the floor. You can adjust that foot. Making sure that we rotate those hips slightly back. Feel that stretch in the front of the left hip. And we'll turn as far as you can and try and look behind. And squaring up again. Placing the hands down, placing that knee down. We'll shift the hips forward. A little more stretch, more intensity into the front of that hip. Let's take the chin up, open the chest. And chin comes down. Turn that foot back under. Press it up. So again, the hands can come in. You have your choice. You can either turn straight on, or you can take that elbow right down to the opposite knee. Use that elbow against the knee to help twist you a little bit further. Good. Return. Walk that foot in. Turn the toes forward. And again, we'll come over with the flat back. Rotating the pelvis forward, settling in here. Noticing if you're able to go a little bit further this time. So this is about challenging the back of the legs, lengthening into them. Remember, it's not about coming all the way forward and slumping over. We want to concentrate on that forward tilt of the hips. Good, let's go ahead. Take your hands down to the floor, walk them forward into a wide-legged dog. So fingers are spread, middle finger or pointer finger facing forward, pressing back, bringing your bottom back between the legs. Again, check in with the rotation of the pelvis, rotating forward, lifting that tailbone up toward the sky. Don't be afraid to make these your own. If you need a little bit of a bend to the knees in order to get a further rotation of the pelvis, go for it. And we'll walk those hands back in, bend the knees, roll up, and walk them together. We're going to come on down to the floor, seated position. Legs straight out in front. I want you just to sit tall first. I want you to notice how So first I want you to just sit tall. Place your hands on either side of your hips. I want you to flex the feet. So you can point and flex a few times and then keep them flexed. Engage your thighs. So you're pressing the back of your knees down toward the floor. Your heels will pop right up off the ground. Good. Notice the spine. Ears over shoulders over hips. Try and reach the chest up as high as you can. Then drop your chin. Good. Try reaching that chest up to touch the chin. Pressing those hands down as if you're trying to lift your bum right up off the ground. Slow, even breathing. Release. I want you to bring one foot in. Slide it right onto the inside of your leg, no matter how far up it is for you. All right. We're, again, rotating that pelvis forward. All right. Work on a somewhat flat back. So if this is my hip joint right here, and this is my back and my head, I don't want to round over the legs. You might feel like you're getting further that way, but you're going to put a lot of damage into your spine. Put a lot of pressure into each of the vertebrae. So I'd prefer that you don't bend forward, that you kind of hinge at the hips. All right, you rotate the pelvis forward, keep your chest pressing forward toward the toes, and again, keep the foot flexed to get the maximum stretch in the back of the leg. Remember, it doesn't matter how far you go. This is not a contest, all right? And as it is, you don't have to look at how far anybody else is going. You get to concentrate on yourself, all right? And again, it's not a contest with yourself either, all right? Be kind to yourself. If you feel like you haven't gone very far, that's okay. Check in. Are you feeling a stretch on the back of that leg? Are you rotating that pelvis forward? Are you pressing that chest forward? You're doing fine. If you need to pull a little further, you can put your hands down, shoulders down, pull your shoulder blades together and pull your chest a little further forward. Once you're at your maximum there, feel free. If you want to go a little bit further by rounding over, that's fine. But don't try and get the maximum stretch out of just rounding over. We're going to inhale up and bring the bottoms of our feet together. Open those knees. Check in with your lower back. Make sure that you're not rounding and sitting into your sacrum, keeping the chest lifted. You want nice energy flow up and down your spine. Slow, even breathing. And you might notice that after a few breaths, you start to feel unwinding in the fascia. Let it go. Checking in with your posture, making sure you're not starting to bring that chest down into the lap. Keep it tall. And we'll slide the second foot out. Good. Flexing that foot. You can engage the thigh, rotate the pelvis forward, pressing the chest toward the toes. Again, once you're kind of maxed out here and you've checked in, made sure that everything is lined up, if you'd like to go further by rounding over that leg, feel free. And inhaling up, bringing that foot back in. Relaxing those knees down, keeping the chest away from your lap. Good. We'll open up one side. And we'll turn it over into a pigeon pose. So, making sure that that heel is crossed to the opposite hip. Hands are on either side of that front knee. Back leg is straight if you can. Here I want you to roll your shoulder blades down behind you. Tuck them into your back pockets. Opening up the chest. Good, dropping back onto that hip. You can slide the back knee in so it rests right in the instep of the second foot. Lean back into your hands. And we're just going to windshield washer our knees back and forth a few times. And we'll land on the second side. Keep that foot there. Back leg straightens out behind, roll right up on into the crook of that leg. Hands on either side of the knee if you can. Roll the shoulder blades down, tuck them in your back pockets, opening the chest. Good, drop back onto that hip, slide that leg in. Again, we'll windshield wiper back and forth. So we're just picking those knees up and rolling them to the second side, back and forth. And coming to a comfortable seated position, whether it be on a chair, whether it be cross-legged, sitting on your knees. Just making sure that your spine is nice and tall. We're not sitting back into the sacrum. We're keeping our chest lifted away from our lap. We're going to be working with some fire breathing. Fire breathing is a faster breath. We're going to be more forceful. And what I'd like to see, or what I'd like you to feel, is a lot of motion in that belly, all right? So we'll start it slow. As you exhale, you're pressing the air out of your lungs by pressing the belly toward the spine. So you can start with your mouth open. And once you get the rhythm of that, you can close your mouth. But just focusing on that exhale and then letting it go, the inhale will happen. Creating some fire in that belly. And if you've started at that slower pace, you can start to speed it up. To end, press all the air out till there's nothing left to press out. And then relax your breath. Close your eyes. Check in with your posture. Returning your breath to normal. Check in, notice how things are feeling. Any changes from the beginning of class till now? And I want you to think about what flexibility means to you off the mat. Right now, when the world is going sideways for the last 6 months, we've been kind of pulled in a lot of different directions and asked to be really flexible, moving things online, worrying about how our kids are going to be learning, how we're holding our classes, learning new ways to shop. One more breath. And open your eyes. We'll inhale up. Namaste.